The Indiana Fever are must watch. I'll explain why. Locked On Women's Basketball starts now.
You are Locked On Women's Basketball, your daily podcast on women's basketball. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Well, hi there and happy Monday. I am Howard Megdal, your host and founder and editor of the Next Women's Basketball Newsroom. You can follow us here every day by making us your first listen, as you have. Thank you. At Locked On WBB on Twitter. You can subscribe to us everywhere podcasts are available, and make sure you are subscribing to our work at the thenexthoops.com. Sign up for the free newsletter or pony up for $9 a month, $72 a year, minus, by the way, $24.99. League Pass is on us this year. It's just the best deal I could possibly imagine for over 100 reported pieces about women's basketball every single month. Really excited to talk to you about the Indiana Fever, and I'm going to take you inside two conversations with Marianne Stanley, the head coach, a legend in this game. Just search Mighty Max if you want to know more, but she's been doing this, not an exaggeration, for half a century. And she's got a fascinating team at her disposal right now. Kelsey Mitchell is averaging 22 points a game. She is not just doing it on volume. She's hitting 43.8% of her threes. She is distributing the ball as well as she ever has. So it's a remarkable thing to see a star ascend the way she is right now, finding another level. But five rookies, five rookies, and they are all contributing mightily. NaLyssa Smith has been a force inside. Queen Egbo, a rim runner and rim protector. Destiny Henderson giving Indiana solid work at the point guard position. Emily Enchler, the two-way contributor right away in impact. And though she's not getting as many minutes, Lexi Hull also doing some interesting early things and has won some praise from the coaching staff. So without further ado, I'm going to turn you over to our pregame conversation with Marianne ahead of Friday night's win over the Liberty. Listen very closely to what she's looking for out of her team going into this, because it tells you a lot about what we have on the other side.
Off of say that with you in person if you wouldn't mind.
I appreciate it. I want to start with the defensive rating, if I could. You guys are at 99.6, right in the middle of the pack in the WNBA, but exponentially ahead of where you were last year. You're doing it with five rookies playing major minutes. How do you reconcile those two things when rookies tend to struggle when they adjust to the pros?
Well, I think it's a credit to how hard they're working and the energy that they bring to the court. And, we're talking about high caliber rookies. Each of them has played at a super high level. And, we're just working at it. Our mantra is to improve every single day, whether it's practice or game. And I think we've been able to do that. Sometimes it's just, small increments, but I think in this case, we're demonstrably better defensively, and they have a lot to do with it. And I think everybody in our team and all the way down to the coaches is committed to us being better defensively. We know we can't win if we're not significantly better defensively. So, that's progress, and we're going to keep working and try to get in the top tier defensively before the season is over.
And just to follow on that, the four of the five have individual positive defensive net ratings as well. Liz can be forgiven. She had faced double on fouls and lives, but
Right.
with the other four, to be able to do that right away, do you think there is an advantage to the fact that they're all hearing it together for the first time the same way? I mean,
Probably, I think that they're benefiting. Our rookie class is benefiting from having each other for sure. The fact that, they're not on an island alone. Sometimes when you have one rookie, it's tough, they're the only one in those shoes and it becomes difficult. But this particular group, they're they're very upbeat. They're very energetic. They ask good questions. They're invested. And so they bring a lot to the table beyond skill, like the intangibles that can help them be better defensively. But I think the fact that it's like a group of people that can rely heavily on each other and lean on each other really helps them.
Good, Eric. Tony, would you please next?
Of course. Marianne, you have D-Rob and Elena with you guys now back from overseas. Do you anticipate either of them will be able to play today and be in your rotation?
D-Rob will play tonight. Elena won't. She's had a real long season and was like the last one to finish, with our group, that's been here, that's come now. Of course, we have one more in Bria Hartley, but, Elena, we've decided to just give her an extra day or two rest. And so she won't play tonight. She is here. She won't play tonight. D-Rob, however, will play tonight.
Last season, when you guys were here earlier in the season, the heartbreaking finish from Sabrina, what do you guys have to do a little bit better to avoid that same result this year?
Well, they're not a one-player team by any means, but, Sabrina is playing at a high level right now. She's healthy, and, that bodes well for them and not so well for everybody else that they play against. But, they're getting good play from a lot of people. Lainey played for the first time the other night. I expect her to play heavier minutes tonight. We just want to come out and play solid basketball at both ends of the floor. Obviously, keeping it close and losing a heartbreaker here is difficult to take early in the season. We're not looking backwards at all, Tony. We're looking forward, and right now we're coming off of a win, so we feel good about our progress, and we want to keep going in that direction and not take steps back. So tonight, an opponent that I've told our players, they're going to be better. They had a really tough game the other day against Chicago, and I'm sure they've learned some things, and they're going to be loaded for bear, so to speak, tonight. They're at home, and we're going to have to bring our A game at both ends of the floor.
James?
Marianne, I know you mentioned that it's not a one-person team. So what do you think Sammy Whitcomb does for them from that backcourt position, just as far as a distributor?
Well, both Sabrina and Sammy are outstanding perimeter shooters. They both have that it factor. They both can get hot quick and can get on a run individually. And so you can never relax. Every time they have the ball in their hands, they're dangerous. And that stretches your defense and poses problems with, any ball screens or even, flare screens. They're both of them are players that you can never relax, because the moment you do, that's when they strike. And in both cases, they're good 3-point shooters. So 2 possessions, making a defensive error could light you up for 6 points and can turn a game. So, Sammy, it probably, in my opinion, has the quickest release of any guard in the league. She gets the ball up quick with high accuracy, and that's what she brings to the table. She's a sniper. She's really a really good shooter. And you combine that with Ionescu's savvy and feel for the game, they're quite a good backcourt.
Last one, Zion.
Yes, I know the other night, Crystal Dangerfield had that huge game, but then she had to be released the day after. How emotional are those moments? How did, just as a team, do you deal with that from one night, just all hugging her for having a great game, to the next day she's no longer with the team?
I'll be honest, it was tough. It was emotional. I spoke with Crystal at some length and just told her how much I appreciated her and her effort. And, we're in a numbers game that just, is very, very difficult. Every team in the league is facing this. And, I thought Crystal, as I expected she would, was, just a classy player and, a real pro. And, it broke my heart to have to let her go. What can you say? But this is the nature of the beast right now. And until we, have expanded rosters or other opportunities, it's going to be what it is. So I told her I knew that she would land on her feet, and that I also knew that during the course of a summer, circumstances and things change a lot, on all teams, and just to be ready, that I knew an opportunity would present itself. And certainly if we had one, I would not hesitate to pick up the phone and call her, for all the reasons. She can play, she's a great kid, good pro, checking all the boxes that you want to be checked.
Yeah, just the Penny D-Rob combo. I'm just wondering how you see it playing out. Do you think of it as a platoon? Do you see it as D-Rob with an opportunity to help her learn as they go? Just curious how you see that.
It could be, we're venturing into unknown territory, so to speak, a little bit, but it could be both of those things. D-Rob's our starter. Henny's learning. She's acquitted herself really well up into this point in time. She's got a lot to learn. Henny's such a good shooter. I won't hesitate her to put her at 2 and play them both together. So when I say, uncharted territory, we're going to do what works. And, Henny's somebody who can play more than one spot. And so we'll utilize her, at the 2 when and where we need. But, we're all happy to have D-Rob back. She's coming off of a good season, a real good season in Turkey, and looking forward to seeing her mesh with everybody else tonight.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everybody.
Right,
Talk
thanks.
to everybody post
She
game.
definitely can be a mentor, though, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Locked On Women's Basketball is brought to you by Sakara. Sakara is a wellness company anchored in food as medicine on a mission to nourish your body through the power of plants. Their nutritionally designed, chef-crafted breakfasts, lunches, and dinners are made with powerful, plant-rich ingredients, helping to boost your energy, support your digestion, curb your sugar cravings, and get your skin glowing. Plus, it's all delivered right to your door, ready to eat. So right now, Sakara is offering our listeners 20% off their first order when they go to sakara.com/lockedon20 or enter code LOCKEDON20, LOCKEDON20 at checkout. That's Sakara, SAKARA.com/lockedon20 to get 20% off your first order. So we heard from Marianne pregame. We understood what she was looking for out of her team. She was, I would say, buoyant post-game. 92-86 win. Indiana comes into New York, a really tough place to play. The crowd was loud. It was a great atmosphere, and you'll hear her talk about this as well. But again, when you think about where the Indiana Fever were last year, I know Marianne, and you'll see the reaction. Somebody asked about it. It took her 18 games to get to 2 wins last year. This win improved her to 2-2. She's 2-3 as we speak here on Monday, after a loss to Atlanta on Sunday, and Ryan Howard, who we'll be talking about as soon as tomorrow on the podcast. But obviously, the reigning Eastern Conference Player of the Week is doing some incredible things. Spencer Nussbaum wrote a terrific piece about her over at thenexthoops.com. Go ahead and check it out when you get a chance. But Marianne saw big things out of her team. Saw big things out of her team. Saw big things out of Victoria Vivians. Truly a fascinating moment in time for this Indiana Fever team.
Howard, would you please want to start off with any questions for Coach?
Absolutely. So just if you could take me through your thinking as we hit overtime and what your team was able to do to win a game like this tonight.
I think the biggest thing was rebounding. Look at the rebounding numbers, 57-33. I mean, that was huge.
You had double-figure rebounds. I just am loading it up, but I think from both Queen and Liz,
Mm-hmm.
we talked a lot about defense pregame, but a rebound is ending a possession in a definitive way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How big a part of that is part of why this team is able to be so much better defensively this season so far?
Yeah, that's huge. We talk about trying to get consecutive stops a lot. And to your point, a lot of times the stop is as good as your rebounding is. If your rebounding is not good, you can be good in the first 23 seconds or whatever, and a shot goes up and a rebound comes off, and if the other team gets it, it's a new possession, and you're not getting them when you need them. So I thought we got our rebounding saved us a lot tonight.
And Danielle Robinson, I just two parts to it. One, to have that kind of performance with one practice under her belt, and the other is just, it seems she was very comfortable. It seemed like the offense was very comfortable ending a possession with her shooting from 3.
Yeah, she's been working on it. I have to give D-Rob a lot of credit. When we had our exit meetings last year, 3-point shooting, improving the 3-point shooting was something as a team we wanted, but specifically for our guards to improve our three-point shooting, which was not up to par a year ago. And she took that seriously. She worked hard on it. And we kept noting that during her season over in Turkey this winter and spring, the three-point shooting had improved quite a bit. So she wasn't hesitant today. And that, I think in the past, maybe she was a little hesitant, but she's been working hard on it. So I'll give her a lot of credit. And she was 2 for 4, 50% from the three. Yeah, I'll take that every day.
I just
Go ahead.
yeah, sure. Just the flip side, can you take me through that defensive possession late in regulation where Sabrina gets the three? What happened?
She just keeps backing up, like no distance is safe with Sabrina. And, I think when she made that 30-foot bank shot at our end in the first half, it's like, oh Lord, it's going to be one of those nights. And, she's energized by playing here in front of these fans and in this building. And once she gets heated up, it's hard to stop her. But, we just were trying to put length on her and switch as much as we could and, just push that action out as far away from the basket as we could. And then, of course, clean the boards. So, she had a heck of a night. I mean, that's a heck of a performance.
We'll go to questions on Zoom. Zion Brown.
Yes, Coach. It seemed like you guys blitzed a lot of the ball screens tonight. What went into that decision just to double a lot on those screens?
Zion, you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Zion, can you hear us?
Yes, you can hear me.
Zion, talk one more time.
Hello, can you hear me?
There you go. Go ahead.
Okay, Coach, I was just asking about, it seemed like you guys doubled and blitzed on a lot of the ball screens that they ran. What went into that decision?
I can't hear you.
Say it again, Zion.
It seemed like you guys decided to double and blitz on a lot of the ball screens that New York ran. What went into that decision?
Yeah, we wanted to be much more aggressive to start the game, and I thought we were. I told our players our energy level from the opening tip was what it should be all the time. We've had trouble starting games the last few times out, and it just wasn't up to par. And I think some of it is just youthful inexperience, not understanding what this level of play is all about. I mean, this was a war out here tonight. It was a very, very physical game. And we just made a decision game day to be much more aggressive at the point of attack on pick and rolls. And it helped us.
Tony East.
Marianne, Victoria gave you 20 points tonight, her first start of the season. What did you see from her that she was doing so well to kind of ignite you guys on so many possessions these games, and what went into the decision to get her into the starting lineup?
Tori's had a good season over in Israel, and she's somebody that I've always had confidence in her ability to score the basketball. And I think maybe just a maturity level and an experience level now. She just seemed more settled and more just ready to give us what she's capable of giving us. And I think, she's far enough away from the knee injury that really hurt her earlier in her career. She has said for the last, 6 months or so, she feels great. So I just knew it was a matter of time before she was going to play the way she was capable of. And, she didn't hesitate tonight. I hope that, maybe starting helped her. And if so, good for us and good for her.
You got 30 combined rebounds from the Baylor rookies, NaLyssa and Queen. What did you see from them on the glass, especially that allowed them to be so effective? I heard you alluding to it earlier.
No, I mean, they just put in the effort to rebound, and one of the things I, talked with all of our bigs about, well, everybody, it's like, you can't just in this league when there's size and length and athleticism in the post, which, college kids don't see that on a regular basis, in multiple numbers like you do on the pro level. Like you can't just go to the ball. You have to block out. And the first couple games we were having trouble because we weren't blocking out. And we've just made it a point of emphasis in all of our practices and in the games, the last 2 games in particular. And I think it's sinking in that, Natasha Howard's a pretty damn good player and she can rebound with the best of them. And you're not going to win a jumping battle with her under the rim. That's just not going to happen. So you have to block out and then pursue the ball. And I think in both Queen and NaLyssa's case, they're starting to understand that and do what they need to do to block out first and then pursue the ball.
Oh, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Owen Pence with Woodsider. It seems like the youngsters, the rookies, have just brought such an infectious energy to this team. How early did you kind of realize that, and how fun has that been? Just coaching?
Oh, 100%. Well, we saw it, and it's part of why we drafted all the ones we drafted. We love their energy, love their mentality, love the fact that they've come from winning programs where they get the commitment necessary. Like, you got to really not only love it, but you got to work, because at this level, there wasn't a bad player out there tonight. Tell me who the bad player was. I didn't see one. That is what it is. And everybody's got talent. And so, I think they're fired up, as rookies are, to just get those new experiences. They're playing against players they probably, watched all through college, and, I'm sure they have their favorites, but, just the chance to get out there and be a pro and play against the best and see how you stack up and measure up. It's exciting, but personality wise, it's a good group. They like to have fun. They're serious when they need to be, but they like to have fun, and just a lot of positive energy.
James Boyd.
Marianne, last season, it took you all 18 games to get to 2 wins. So what does it say about this group to get to 2 wins this early in the season, and also to do it in this fashion and really gut it out?
Well, this is a terrific win for our players. Really, really great win. It was a gut check win. It wasn't pretty all the time. Both teams made mistakes that I'm sure when we go back and look at film, you're going, oh my goodness, shake your head. But nothing, it was all earned. Nothing was given here. And so, it goes back to the energy level. We asked them to provide tremendous energy. Like, it was going to require our best level of energy and effort tonight in order to win. And that certainly was the case. Like, it was really a physical game. I'm just happy for our players, that we're at 500 now. We're 2-2. We're going back home, and we got to play in less than 48 hours. So we're going to be on a bus at 7:30 tomorrow morning, get home, do some preparations and rest and recover, and then play 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock on Sunday. I mean, it's brutal. We have probably the least favorable schedule in the league. Like, whoever plugs in the stuff to the computer, as they say. I don't know, this computer must have it out for Indiana. But anyway, we're not complaining. It is what it is. But we got to go home and get ready in less than 48 hours to go beat a very good Atlanta team that's, like us, has been infused with youthful energy and some good talent. One of the very best players coming out of college last year in Ryan Howard. And so, we got to get to it. We'll enjoy this for the moment and then get ready for the next.
Alexa.
Hi, Marianne. It's Alexa Philby from ESPN. Kind of building off what you've mentioned before, how would you just describe the mood and, for lack of better words, the vibe maybe for how just the team has started this season, not just with infusion of youth, but, to get those first few wins under your belt so early, just not just from the rookies, I guess, as you were mentioning, but team-wide more?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think it's important for everybody, because everybody in our team works hard and they want to win. And, it's been a struggle, all throughout the pandemic. It's been difficult going, but we feel like we've got good pieces, be they, newcomers, not just the draft class, but, NaLyssa Smith, now Elena Coates will be added, all of our rookies and our returning players. D-Rob showed you why she's our starting point guard. She just got back from Turkey. She had one practice, and she is where she belongs as a starter at point for us. You saw that tonight. Vivian's played as good as we hoped that she could and would. And hopefully, she's just going to stay on that track of being who she is and doing what she does best. And then, you add the other people like Tiffany Mitchell, Kelsey Mitchell, they always provide a calm type of poise to our group. Kelsey's been playing well lately. Tiffany's role has been a little bit different, but she's as tough as nails and as good a defender as there is. And, providing that veteran experience that we need. So, all the way around with our roster, I think people feel good about playing hard for each other. And that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, you need people who are willing to get in the trenches and play hard for each other, for their team, their staff, their franchise in a game like this with everything on the line in a tough environment, and where the star player on the other team is having a night, so they should feel good. They deserve to feel good. Hey, yeah. How you doing?
I know it's one win, it's early in the season, but how much does this help you guys as far as changing culture, getting a winning culture back to Indiana with a win and, as you said, tough environment on the road and gut check time you guys came
Yeah.
through. They could have won this game very easily, same way you guys did. How big is this to help?
It's
you
huge.
going forward?
Yeah, it's huge. We need that stamp of approval, if you will, that we're good enough, sometimes when, you hit a losing stretch, people start to doubt or lose faith in their own ability. And so this goes a long way towards shoring up their confidence and also showing that there's no easy path. If there was an easier way to get things done, we certainly would. We're not trying to do it the hard way, but trust me, with 12 teams in the league and you see all the people that aren't making rosters, I mean, it's tough out here. And so I think everybody understands there's a level of intensity, if you will, this year that and early that maybe we haven't seen. And it's important. I mean, that was like a playoff game right there. I mean, like the vibe in the room in the gym was like that. And so I think we're going to see more of that. It's just kind of comes with the turf. But for us as a franchise with a lot of young players and coming off of 2 losing seasons, it's immeasurable how important this is. And, it's one game, but we're going to, enjoy the fact that we earned it. Nothing was given. And then we did it as a team. And then we're going to, get prepared for the next one on Sunday afternoon and try to get another win in front of our home fans.
Last one from Zach Ward.
Excuse me.
Hi, Coach. Seems like you had to win this game 3 different times. Can you just talk about the resiliency your team showed when they would miraculously come back and tie it?
Yeah, that's a good point. You never count out a team like New York, and particularly when you got players like Ionescu out there. You can just never count a team out. As long as you got an opportunity, then you try to make the most of it. But I just think it goes to show that every possession counts, everything you do counts. And I told our guys, there's going to be a lot of stuff on this film that we really like, and there's going to be some stuff we're going, oh my goodness, what are we doing? And it's early in the season. Some of these guys, think about it. We have how many new players is it? 8, 9?
9.
Like, they haven't played together that long. So expecting it to all mesh and gel all the time in every situation, it's a little bit unrealistic. And I keep preaching to everybody on our staff and be patient. We have talent and they're going to keep getting better. We've asked them to improve, even if it's just incrementally every time they touch the floor, to just get a little bit better, a little bit better. We're doing that. So we're doing that part. And there's a lot to improve upon. I mean, again, we're playing our rookies. Our rookies aren't sitting down there not being played. They're playing and they're getting invaluable experience. And, this was, an overtime game where, again, we could have won it in regulation. We didn't. We took overtime and then we figured out how to do that. And that's invaluable experience for everybody.
Coach, thank you.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate it.
Locked On Women's Basketball is brought to you by Built Bar. Imagine the delight when the birthday cake puffs arrived. Imagine the screams of excitement in the Megdal household. Imagine dipping your finger into that plastic tub of birthday cake frosting and then opening your eyes and realizing it was only 150 calories and 16 grams of protein. So we received the birthday cake puffs. I can't prove it to you, right? Why can't I? Because they're gone. Because my children ate them, my wife ate them, my mom, of course, ate them. Nobody's had anything like this before. They're available right now. I don't know for how long, but we are a Puffs household in general. We love the churros. We love the banana cream pie. You should be a Puffs household too. So go to built.com and use promo code LOCKED15 and get 15% off your order. Promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com, and tell them Grandma Myrna sent you. So let's hear from NaLyssa Smith. Let's hear from Victoria Vivians. Let's hear from the great Kelsey Mitchell, who is going to make an all-star team this year if there is justice in the world. Let's get a better sense of these people who are helping set the pace for a new day in Indiana. The Indiana Fever, they're 2-3. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. This is a tough league. There are legitimately, especially with Ryan Howard playing as well as she is in Atlanta, 12 teams who can make a claim that they are ready to make the playoffs now. Only 8 are going to do it. So this is going to go down to the wire. But here's what the Fever are. They're on the right track. Lynn Dunn, who should be given an end to her interim title and a long-term contract as long as she cares to stay. That should be done yesterday, in my view. They are on the right track, and they are fascinating to watch. So let's hear from the players.
Thanks.
I want to start questions for any Tori or Alyssa.
This is all.
So we're going through.
That's all.
Let's start. Good to see you both in person.
Good to see you.
Let's just to start, to be able to dominate on the boards like this so early in your career. I know we've talked about this, that this was always the goal, this was always the understood. What does it mean to do it and do it, here in New York, and put those numbers on the board for yourself?
I mean, it's a great feeling when you go into a game wanting to win that game. You go in there with a different mindset. So coming in this game, I knew rebounding was going to be the difference in the game. So, I went up there and rebounded.
And Tori, you looked like you were comfortable in a way moving like when you were in Mississippi State. And coach was saying that for the last 6 months, you've been talking about how well you've been moving. Obviously, you had a terrific season over in Israel. Do you feel as if you're in a position to do the things that you always believe you could in this league since you got here?
Yeah. I'm not trying to bring.
No, it's going. You're good.
It's not. It's right there. We gotta get out of New York.
But no, I'm not trying to blame it on my injuries, but it's just been a battle for me, ever since my first year, after my first year, basically having injuries. So it's been almost about to be 2 years since the injury, and I'm feeling good back moving like I was. I'm comfortable doing what I do. So I feel like that plays a lot into where my body is back to where it was from when it was my rookie year. So I'm playing back like myself again. Thank you.
This question is for you, Victoria. You've been through the start, when it's been a rough patch. I'm not gonna say that you got over it.
Mm-hmm.
You started the season 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're 2-2. When you were 0-2, what was the message in the locker room? Because you've been down this road before, but said we're not gonna go through this again.
I mean, we say it every season, people don't like losing. We hate losing. So you got to just keep the positive vibe and keep the positive attitude in the locker room. So I would say the message is just the same. We just delivering different. So.
This question is for both of you guys. Would you define this win as a gritty win or
I would say gritty because both teams played well and play hard. So I mean, it was pretty basketball. You're making shots, so it's pretty. So I feel like it was just a gritty, grinded out game.
Sorry. To speak about the one thing that doesn't come in the stat sheet. I mean, it's clearly you guys were clutch tonight. Hey, am I saying her name wrong? Egbo.
Queen Egbo.
Queen Egbo. She did a great job on Natasha Howard.
Mm-hmm.
She touched the 8 points.
It's amazing.
I was guarding her, not Queen.
I was guarding her.
There were sometimes it looked like she was like, okay. So, if you could just speak about the effort of what you guys did to hold it, because I think that made a big difference. It took she's like kind of the compliment to Sabrina. So if somebody's going to pop off other than Sabrina, it's going to be Howard.
Yeah.
And clearly, you guys stopped that. What did you guys do to contest it and make sure she didn't get out tonight?
I mean, in scout, we seen that she was one of the main focuses on the team. So, going into the game, we knew what she did best. We had to stop what she did best. Also, it was like nail help. Every time she drove, we had someone in the nail. So it was a group effort. I wouldn't say it was 1 or 2 people. We all collectively like stopped her as a team.
I apologize.
No, I was playing with you.
As for Victoria, coach just said that this team really likes to have fun, but then knows when to be serious. What have you gleaned from the rookies that have come into this team, just the energy that they're bringing?
They are some very energetic rookies. I can't say that. About like me when I first came in, full of like life. I love it. I mean, we need it because it's only 4 bets. So we need the energy. We don't need to be dull all the time. So them just bringing in the energy, having fun, and actually knowing when to be serious and play basketball. I mean, it's a win-win.
We'll go on Zoom. Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, Tori, first I got 2 for you. You played with D-Rob last year. For her to step in like this, first game back, and have some huge shots for you in overtime and step up like that. What does that say about her, especially as she's kind of grown as a teammate and a leader for you guys these last couple of years?
She's a pro. I mean, we are all professional athletes. And she knows to come in and do her job. And she did that, and she did it well tonight. So she was just being a professional.
On your end specifically, you move into the starting lineup, 20 points in this game. What did you like about your fit with that unit, and how did playing with that group kind of energize your scoring effort in this one?
I mean, it don't matter who I'm playing with, honestly, because I'm gonna come in and give 100% whatever I got to help this team. So either if I'm the first person off the bench or starter or the last person off the bench, when I come in, I'm gonna do what I can to help the team. And I don't care if I start or not, to be honest.
James Boyd.
Tori, did anybody get on first? Not a serious question, but anybody get on D-Rob for not ending the game in regulation? But secondly, how good did it feel to actually pull it out in overtime?
Honestly, I'm not even gonna put that on D-Rob in regulation because it was a lot that played into that. But what was the other question?
How good did it feel to lock back in and pull it out after they had done so much to have the game back up?
It felt good because last year, they beat us on the buzzer beater, so we had to get it back.
Alexa.
Hey, Tori, I wanted to follow up just on the question of the energy that the rookies have brought. Has that made things feel lighter at all? Or how would you describe, just like as you guys have been going through, even from training camp through, the early bits of this season, how does that just affect you all on the court and what you're all able to do from vets down?
Well, I can't say anything about training camp because I was still playing overseas, but ever since I've been back, they've been very energetic, and it's been helping us like to stay lively and not be so serious all the time, because it can stress you out just trying to be serious all the time. And I feel like they bring out the life in us. So I like it. I'm gonna take it. I'll take them any day. Tear.
Anybody have anything else for NaLyssa or Tori since Kelsey showed up?
I do. Let's just the 7 offensive rebounds again. To be able to do that so early in your career. I know when we talked about this back in the winter, you just didn't have a question in your mind that you belonged, right? Is this part of showing that is imposing your will inside and being able to do that so early on?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I know rebounding helps my team win. So, going to the boards also helps you score more. Every offensive rebound, you scoring easily. So that's why I rebound the most.
And just the flip side of that is, holding Natasha Howard to 115. Having that opportunity.
It's not.
To improve it against somebody who's been an all-star, or somebody who's done this in this league. Do you take away added confidence from that, or is this something that you just knew you were going to be able to do when you got it?
I'll say you can't get too high or too low. You guys see him again. So I'm not going to get too high on it because she can come out the next game and, score 30. A lot of people, they have up and down games. So I'm not finna hype myself up. But I mean, we did a great job as a team stopping her.
Yes, Lord. I like good answer.
Anybody else have anything for these two?
See you. You're late.
Slide over there.
Oh, so you finna be here for?
Yeah, right. All right. They follow y'all.
Tony, anything for Kelsey?
See, I'm good. I can't write on time.
Kelsey, especially after last year when, Sabrina hit that huge shot against you guys, how did this one feel to both, clutch it out at the end of regulation, then again to get it done in overtime and get the win?
I felt really good. Obviously it was a lot of ton of events that kind of impose the will on the game as far as like having to win. So it felt really good. Obviously, New York is a fantastic team with fantastic players. So it was good to kind of get some W's on our belt without having to like get down on ourselves. So it felt really good. We're gonna take this for, the rest of the night, till 12 o'clock, and we're gonna move on, man.
D-Rob's your old vet, but she's looking like a rookie out there tonight, spry, moving around, hitting huge shots. How big was she for you guys in that first game back?
Oh, it's really good to have that vet experience around, especially at the PG position. Obviously, don't take anything away from our other guards. For example, Henny. But having D-Rob back and having her to be able to point us in the right direction as far as what we need to be, especially in crunch time situations, is very important. We relied on her heavily without showing so much. Obviously, you guys are in the locker room, but on the court and having her here it was amazing. We wrapped our arms around her as far as her leadership, and we're gonna continue to need her.
Oh, go ahead.
Hi, Kelsey. I got two for you. The first one, I'm just so impressed with Queen and NaLyssa's play overall, but especially it seems like, pick and rolls, like some of these actions, you guys already have this chemistry that feels like it's been developed way longer than,
right.
or something. What have you seen from them running those plays? How impressed with them?
I think I could piggyback off Victoria's statement. They're so energetic. I'm sorry. And on top of that, they're not arrogant, they're not cocky, but they're confident in their game, and they wear that chip on their shoulder. So it always kind of wears and it kind of shows, and they impose their will in the game like that. So without saying so many words, that energy and that vibe, as far as like knowing that what they bring to the table, and they bring it to the table very well, it shows. And so when it's time to do pick and roll action, it's time for us to like get in certain things and hit in certain spots. They know exactly where to be, and that's because of their confidence.
And then piggybacking off of that, Coach said after this game that this is a team that really likes to have fun, but knows when to be serious. Can you speak to anything you've noticed in terms of the fun element of this team?
Oh man, we embrace our rookies are one of a kind, man. We really need to have a TV show. I'm not even joking. Like, y'all would be surprised some of the stuff we hear, some of the stuff that some of the questions that we have that we ask them and they ask us. Particularly when it comes to like airport stuff, bus activity. Our rookies are interesting, but I wouldn't trade them in for the world. I honestly wouldn't. This is a special group for us because we're authentic. We are who we are, and no one can put barriers on us.
Thank you.
Sure.
James, anything, Kelsey?
Kelsey, how much do you enjoy being that closer? You got off to a hot start,
a
little bit of a lull there.
Yeah.
When it was winning time, you made plays to win the game.
It feels good, man. I'm really coming into myself as far as that mentality and what's needed to be done for my team on behalf of my team. For me, it's just those lows, trying to fix those and trying to keep that up and up. Those dips as far as lows are too big. But on the flip side, me tapping into myself mentally and being able to talk to people like Coach Carlos and, tell me and express to me, this is where we need you. This is where we need you. So after the game, Queen is like, you always know when to put us on our back. And that's not something that I look to do. It's just something I love my team and I'm gonna do whatever for them. But we definitely gonna fix them lows. We can't hide them.
Last one for Kelsey, Dion Cash.
All right. Congratulations on another big win, second in a row. Second really complete game from you, double digits. 20-point game, both games. You guys are winning different ways as well tonight. You had to dig deep overtime.
Yeah.
Talk about the game a little bit, and are you feeling like that top 10? Hey, top 10, man, you're looking really good right now. I'm telling you, you're looking real good. The WNBA, they needed to start ramping up your campaign. But congratulations on the win. And what was it like tonight in New York for you?
Man, New York is amazing. Let's first shout out to the city. Like, y'all city is dope. That energy y'all bring, the energy and the love y'all show to y'all WNBA team, the New York Liberty, is amazing. Y'all welcomed us with open arms as far as the competition in a good atmosphere. It was all love. I think for us, this was a challenge for me because it's going to show where it tests me mentally to see where I'm at. Obviously went on a low where stuff wasn't falling. Shots were, hard and aggressive. So for me, it was about making sure mentally I could bounce back and be where I needed to be. So this was a huge test for all of us, particularly for our young ones, to see how it is in the trenches, especially when we got to go against people like, Ionescu, Benaja, which is like all of them realistically. So it was a test for us, but going forward, we're just going to take this and use it as, put it in our book and, learn from it.
Awesome. Thanks, Kelsey. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for making Locked On Women's Basketball your first listen every day. Now, go ahead and make Locked On NBA your second listen. From the first jump ball of the play-in tournament to the last possession of the finals, Locked On experts take you deep inside the playoffs with insight and analysis affecting all 30 teams, including our fearless team leader, Nick Angstad's Dallas Mavericks, who are, of course, moving on. Locked On NBA should be your second listen every day. I'm Howard Megdal, thanking you again for making us your first listen. Follow us at The Next Hoops for all our written content, at Locked On WBB for all of our daily podcasts. I'll see you tomorrow. Wishing you a wonderful Monday.
You are Locked On Women's Basketball, your daily podcast on women's basketball. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.